Yes. Happy morning, children. How you all are doing? Hope you all are doing good. And you all got your periodic assessment 2 marks. Hope you all are happy. But I want you all to score better than this. Okay? Fine, children. Study well. Do your hard work. And for sure you'll get the fruit. Okay? So anyhow, we are nearing to our first term assessment. Most probably by next month, the mid month we'll be having a this term 1 assessment. So guys, be careful, study well, day by day, the same day, revise the concepts, make your own notes, study well, don't waste your time. Okay, so fine, let us start with the class. Okay, children, in the last class, what is the concept we have learnt? Yes, the same chapter, that is your geography, minerals and power resources. Okay, so in the last class we have understood about what do you mean by minerals, and then it's exactly the types of minerals. Yes, children, tell me what are the types of minerals we have seen? Yes, metallic and non-metallic. In metallic, again we have divided into two kinds. One, it is ferrous and non-ferrous. Okay, so we have understood about what do you mean by metallic, what do you mean by non-metallic minerals, and then ferrous and non-ferrous minerals. Yes, and then we have understood about, yes, the extraction of minerals, how we extract the minerals. What are the methods we can extract the minerals? One, it is about, yes, exactly, mining, drilling and quarrying. Exactly. So mining, drilling and quarrying. So usually the extraction of minerals will do in these three methods. And then we have seen about the uses of minerals. Yes or no? And I told you people to, yes, make your own, the list of advantages of minerals. Okay, and then every day we are using those minerals in our daily life, so that we can just make a note of that. Okay, and then apart from the uses of minerals, distribution of minerals also we have seen. Okay, so we have understood about the distribution of minerals all over the world, and even in India also. Even in India, what are the different the minerals has been discovered. And then next we understood about the conservation of minerals. Okay, so how to conserve the minerals, why we have to conserve the minerals, that and all we have understood. And even we have understood about renewable and non-renewable resources. Okay, so renewable resources and non-renewable resources. What do you mean by renewable resources? What are the examples? Okay, this you people have learned from your basics. Okay, you have to understand the distinguish between the differences between, yes, renewable and non-renewable resources. And even we have understood about conventional and non-conventional sources. In today's class we are going to see about conventional energy resources. Okay guys, today in detail we'll see some conventional energy resources. Okay, in the next class we'll see about the non-conventional energy resources. Okay, fine, let us see here, sources of energy. The sources of energy has been divided into two kinds. One, it is conventional sources, and the one more, it is non-conventional sources. So in simple way, conventional means our old methods how we were using this energy sources. Okay, so for the energy or for the these things. What are the things we were using in the earlier, that we can see. Coming to that, commercial and non-commercial. Okay, so in that we can see commercial, we can see that coal, petroleum, electricity, that is the hydel power. Okay, and then if we come to the non-commercial, firewood, straw, and then dried dung. Okay, so today we'll be seeing about the firewood, coal, petroleum, natural gas, and even the hydroelectric power, that is hydel power. Okay, and some non-conventional sources of energy are bioenergy, solar energy, wind energy, tidal energy from the urban waste. Many things we can see. Okay, yes. So the coming to the conventional sources of energy: firewood, coal, petroleum, natural gas, and the hydel power. Okay, so hope one of the student asked me the doubt. Hydel power or hydroelectric power is a conventional sources or non-conventional sources? See here, basically it is a conventional sources. Sometimes even we can consider into conventional or non-conventional. Okay, that I'll explain at last when I'll be explaining about the hydroelectric power. Okay, fine. Here the conventional sources are firewood, coal, petroleum, natural gas, and hydroelectric power, that is hydel power. Yes. So what exactly you understood about the conventional sources of energy, children? Yes, see here. Conventional sources of energy are the natural energy resources which are present in a limited quantity and are being used for a long time. So we can see these things are available in the nature, and it's they started to use this for the long time. This is also kind of a non-renewable resources. Okay, see here, the wood, coal, natural gases, petroleum, all these things. Okay, so once it get exhaust, so it will take the thousands of years to reget it. Okay, fine. The next one we'll see about firewood. Okay, so firewood is an example of conventional sources of energy. So it is widely used for cooking and heating. Around 50% of the energy used by villagers come from firewood. Okay, see, this is the traditional method of the the energy source. Guys, you people know, right? You can just visit your neighbors, or else you can visit your the villages. There you can see, even for heating purpose, even for cooking purpose, in villages and all, they'll be using the firewood only. Yes or no, children? So what happens? Almost 50% of the energy used by villagers come from firewood. So the maximum people in the village side, they'll be using firewood for the energy source. Okay, so you people understood about the first point, that is about firewood. Okay, remains of plant and animals which were buried under the earth for millions of years got converted by the heat and pressure into fossil fuels. So finally what happens? This the plants waste and the animals waste will be remains under under the earth. So that will be stayed for the millions of years, and that will convert by the heat and pressure into fossil fuels. Okay, hope you guys understood, right? Yes. See, then let us see what are the advantages of this firewood, children. What are the advantages? See here, easy access, of course, wherever the tree waste and even the animal waste, the cow dung, they'll be using it as a the dry dung also for the fire. Okay. So that one, easy access will be there. Provides energy to a larger number of people. So it gives energy to the large number of people. And what are the disadvantages we can see here? collection is time consuming. So here what happens? It is the time consuming process, and the polluting, of course, when we are firing, that will be a polluting, the air pollution. It causes air pollution. Okay. And then promoting greenhouse effect. So what happens here? It promotes the greenhouse effects and deforestation. So as we know, this one, the firewood collection, is also one of the cause for the deforestation. Okay, so the many people will cut the trees for the firewood purpose only. Okay, so these are all the disadvantages we can see, and even the advantages we can see. Okay, and then we'll move on to the next one, that is coal. The most abundantly found fossil fuel used as a domestic fuel in industries such as iron and steel, steam engines, and to generate electricity. So here we are understanding about coal. Okay, the coal is one of the most abundantly found fossil fuel. It is one of the most abundantly found fossil fuel, and then used as a domestic fuel. Even we are using it for the domestic, we are using it as a domestic fuel in industries. So we are using the coal in industries such as iron. So we are using this for iron and steel industries, and steam engines. We are using it for steam engines and to generate electricity. So even in railways and all, they were using the coal. Do you guys remember? Yes. So, and to generate electricity also, they are using the coal. Okay. See here. Electricity from coal is called thermal power. Guys, what do you mean by thermal power? The electricity which will be produced out of coal is called as thermal power. Guys, remember, what do you mean by thermal power? The electricity which we are producing with the help or from the coal is known as thermal power. And the coal which was formed millions of years ago when giant ferns and swamps got buried under the layers of earth. So finally, how we'll get the coal? It has formed from the millions of years ago only. How it has formed? Yes, when the giant ferns and swamps got buried under the layers of the earth, then we'll be getting the coal. Okay, see, the coal is therefore referred to as buried sunshine. So what is the coal is referred? It referred as buried sunshine. Okay, coal is referred as buried sunshine. So you people understood about what do you mean by thermal power and how the coal has been formed, and what do you mean by buried sunshine. Okay, and the next we can see that, see here, the leading coal producers of the world are, where and all we can see the coal is produced more. China, the first one it is China, United States of America, Germany, Russia, South Africa, and France. Guys, remember where and all the coal has been produced more? China, USA, German, Russia, South Africa, and France. Okay, and then the coal producing areas of India. In India, where and all we are producing the coal? Raniganj, Jharia, Dhanbad, and Bokoro in Jharkhand. Okay, so hope you guys understood right how the coal has been formed. Okay, this is one of the the most available, abundant available fossil fuel. And then what do you mean by thermal power? Okay, what do you mean by buried sunshine? Okay, and next we can see about the advantages and disadvantages of coal. Okay.